Good morning, monkeys. Welcome to a new series here on Coaster Monkey Studios, where we are going to be playing RCT Classic. My thought process for this series is going to be a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to go through every single scenario, or as many as I can fit in here, in the game, and we're going to play it to completion, but we're going to play it as if we were playing sandbox mode. And I'm going to show you guys how we can not only build a park at the high level of theming that we've been doing, but also fulfill scenario goals, as well as move forward with building the park after you reach those goals. So in this particular episode, we're going to start on Forest Frontiers, and we have to hit 250 guests in our park by the end of October year one with a park rating of at least 600. So let's get started here. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this one. Again, with this being the very first scenario ever, it's very simple. Minimal theming objects that are available. You've got minimal options as far as, you know, your rides. You've got very basic management expectations, and that's really what this particular episode's about. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through in this episode and fulfill this entire scenario in this episode, but then we're going to continue playing it on, right? So as I build this out here, this is going to be our entryway building. We're going to build a information center in the center of this here, and this is going to be our quote-unquote central hub. Now, my imagination for this park is I want it to be very amusement park-ish, right? So when we say amusement park, we don't mean high theming. We mean pretty buildings. We mean think very like Luna Park in the 1920s. Think very Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Think very Luna Park in Australia, down on the Gold Coast. So I want you guys to think about that as we're kind of continuing through here, how we're creating this amusement park vibe, but still giving an elevated feeling of theming, as well as fulfilling the expectations of the park scenario. So as you can see here, what I've done is first and foremost, I started to build a food outlet and place some food areas, food stalls down. That's the first thing we did. The second thing, or the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put down a gentle ride, and we're going to put down a roller coaster. And the intention is to not only bring in people, right? But we're also doing this to bring in revenue because we don't have a ticket price or a gate price. So as you saw there, what I did was I increased the amount of rotations that the ride has, the merry-go-round has, and I put it at $2 or $1.50. And to be honest with you, based on that excitement rating, and this is just something, again, to bring up for you guys when we're talking about excitement ratings versus price point or what you're charging for the ride, you can go up to about 50.50 less than the excitement rating for the price of the ride. Now, I'll show you in this example when we build out this coaster. So we're going to build out a junior coaster. This is going to be a very simple ride, very quick, snappy. It's got, a fast throughput. So we're going to have a lot of movement through with our guests through the station. We're going to have a very long train, and we're going to give it a double rotation of the circuit. And what does that mean? Well, the train's going to pass through the station. When it's finished its first circuit, it's going to pass through the station and go through a second circuit. So this increases the excitement of the ride slightly, but also gets you a better value for the ride, right? So we built this out. We did it super quick. It's a couple turns up, couple turns down, a nice little helix at the end with a queue that runs directly underneath the ride. Now, as you can see here, I looked at the excitement rating was 6.4. So that means what I'm going to do is to charge for this ride, I'm going to charge $6. I can charge up to $6 for this ride and still get people to ride it. Huge bonus win right there, right? This is something I didn't know for the past 20 years I've been playing this game. And I recently found this out by watching another YouTuber by the name of Stu. He does some amazing work. You should check his channel out. He's friggin' awesome. So at this point here, what we're looking at is 139 guests. We're at 400 and some odd dollars. And here we're going to start taking out, as we build out the scenery, some money from a loan, right? Now we've got some loan action happening throughout this episode. We actually wind up maxing out this loan, right? But in order to keep the revenue coming in, what we're going to do is we're going to jump in here. We're going to do some marketing. So what's great about marketing? Well, marketing brings guests into your park. What it does is, for every ride, every coaster, you get a certain amount of guests that'll automatically come into your park, right? Let's say you have, and I'm going to throw some random arbitrary numbers out here. So let's say you have 10 attractions in your park, right? You're going to be allowed, and this is a totally fictional number, 100 guests per attraction, right? And that's the amount of guests that the game will allow in your park without any marketing whatsoever. So as one person leaves, another person will walk in to keep you at that number of guests. When you do marketing, what it does is it increases the inflow of traffic into your park, and you can do specific marketing for specific rides, which I do here. And to be honest with you, to get the most bang for your buck, again, as I learned from watching another designer, and again, 20 years of playing this game, I didn't know this, but you get more bang for your buck with the 2-week marketing plan. Okay, 6 weeks is easier, right? But you get more bang for your buck with the 2 weeks. So that's what I do throughout this series. I'm going to be doing throughout this series with the marketing is I'm going to be throwing 2-week marketing plans out there just to drive the traffic into the park. Now, once we break that goal of X amount of people in our park, right, we're going to continue to have people come into the park. So again, for every attraction we put down, we're going to automatically get people into the park no matter what. We want to make sure we're over that threshold substantially by the time we move forward with the park without any marketing, right? So here I am just building out this food installation here. Very simple design, again, double balcony, very typical Coaster Monkey stylizing here when it comes to how we build that. I love this little castle building I built for this, and you're going to see what I built for the station house here is super fun as well. But yeah, as you see the ride, it goes through there, and then it goes to the station and goes out again. And again, a great way to really build the excitement factor and the desire to ride, that junior coaster. All right, here we are putting in another flat, our simple twist. Again, throwing it up to 6 rotations. And for this one, you can charge $2 and your guests will ride it for $2 without any complaints. They'll be consistent in riding that ride, which is pretty cool. All right, now when it comes to theming and whatnot, obviously this increases our park's overall rating. Right. Now, there's some management things that we now have to be mindful of now that we're utilizing money in this series that will help drive the business forward, and that's one of the challenges you don't run into when you're running a park without money, right? So what I've done here is, I throw in very simple, lower, price pointed gardening. And that's what you'll see a lot of times in amusement parks over theme parks. You'll have very minimal theming per ride, and then you'll have gardening, a lot of gardening, a lot of nature. And that's kind of what you'll see that I kind of build out in a lot of the scenario pieces here to not only help just fulfill the scenario, which is obviously super important, right? But, not to spend too much money because now money's a factor, and we've got to be mindful of that, right? All right, so as I build this out, I'm just going to let the music play a little bit, and I will get back to you guys in a moment. See you guys shortly. All right, now as we finish up this building here, just throwing in some of my favorite trees in the entire game. They are in every park, trust me, that I built. And another favorite tree, which is this, the pink tree. I can't remember the name at the current moment, but another fun tree, that and the yellow tree. I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so we're just making it, very pretty, very, very pink, very young. It's a junior coaster. It's meant to be family oriented. That's the whole point of this ride here. Now, we're going to throw in just another really quick little drink outlet with a bathroom on this side of the park here in the front, right across from our merry-go-round. And again, super simple. We're going to have it, interact a little bit with this coaster as it comes up and over this building, which is, again, just fun, right? And that's the intention here. So to discuss a little bit as I build this out of what this series is going to look like, I'm not going to post a video every single day like I did with the last series. With this series, obviously with the country starting to open back up, and with other potential ventures that I'm handling on my end here in real life, outside of YouTube, I'm going to be only posting probably 2 to 3 times a week. I'm thinking probably a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule, but don't quote me on that specifically. But what I'm going to do is, as I make the videos, I'm going to upload them with a release schedule, and they'll automatically post on their own. For those of you that don't know how YouTube works, it's an amazing feature. And I can post it on a schedule, which is the intention here. But what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm hoping a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule should work. It hits twice during the week, once on the weekend, gives you guys good variety. It may be more, it may be less. But again, I don't want to commit to anything, but in the same breath, there is going to be a scheduled, at least 1 to 2, actually minimum 2 videos a week. Probably is the best direction to go. And again, you guys tell me what you want. If you want to see more, let me know. Obviously, hearing me talk for 20 minutes every day is a fantastic thing. But yeah, so we're going to have a schedule out there, at least 2 videos a week, so you can anticipate that to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand exactly the direction we're going to go here with this. So with what we're going on here in the video, we are going to put in now something that's super huge right now in the industry. For those of you that don't know much about roller coaster industry, or that are just into the game, or really aren't real life roller coaster fans, I don't know how you would not be, but what we're going to do is we're going to build a Vekoma shuttle, right? Vekoma family shuttle. We're going to throw in a couple of loops here just to give us a little bit of fun. Now, Vekoma is out of nowhere becoming like this fantastic coaster designer within the past few years. Oh, and there we go. We've achieved our goal. Look at that. And we weren't even paying attention, right? We were above our goal. We were just, focusing on our business there. Building stuff out. We had over the anticipated amount of people. We hit our goal, and now we just get to play. All right, so going back to this Vekoma, super huge. Oh my goodness, out of nowhere, blowing my mind with the rides that they're doing. So we decided to build this. This is, again, a Vekoma shuttle, quote unquote. So it's got a little bit of more excitement to it. Thank you, Vekoma, for really, thinking outside the box and creating really quality coasters over the past couple of years. For those of you that don't know, there is a coaster in Klugheim in Phantasialand that is a Vekoma shuttle. That is, again, I've never been on it because I've not been to Phantasialand, which is literally the diehard, that in Europa Park and Energylandia. So if I had 3 that are my diehard parks, it'd be Europa Park, Energylandia, and Phantasialand. That would be my ideal road trip. If I went to Europe to hit like 3 of my all-time hardcore bucket list parks. But yeah, so Klugheim has this shuttle coaster they built around Taron. Again, super fun. There's a lot of theming around it. It whips in and out of scenery, and that's the whole idea surrounding that. Vekoma also built Lect Coaster, which blew the minds of so many people. So that's out of nowhere, like what the front door, right? So Vekoma's coming out of nowhere and just building these amazing rides. So thank you, Vekoma, for not building the SLC any longer. All right, back to what we're building here. we have decided, you know, just the coaster started out as a purple coaster, and in my mind instantly I thought, wow, how cool would this be if it was a horror themed coaster, right? Or like a scary or scary-esque themed coaster. So what I decided to do was build a couple of scary houses, right? Like these old, you know, old manors, if you will. Dun, 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 you know, manor style stuff. And again, this is all using the basic stuff, right, that you have in the game. There's no theming thrown in here. This is basic theming. And what I did was I built the coaster station, and I built another building that this coaster goes through, and around, I should say, that you go through. And this could be like a, you know, when I think about queue theming, I think about pre-show, right? So this would be like a pre-show building before you actually get on the ride. You walk into this building and you're walking through this like haunted house scenario, right? And as you walk out of that haunted house, you know, you go through this little bit of queue on the outside where the coaster's double loops are directly next to you. And then you go into this next haunted house, which is the actual station for the coaster, which I thought was pretty fun. And we named this coaster Phantasmagoria. So, Phantasmagoria. And what I'm thinking is, at the very end of the coaster, where it hits that first peak and then starts to go backwards, what we'll do is we'll build a haunted house ride right there underneath that lift. So you have to walk around and underneath that lift in order to get to the haunted house, which I think is going to be a really cool concept. Again, you know, just thinking outside of the box. But what you'll see here is I keep getting to the point where I'm starting to run out of funds, right? So yes, we're doing a lot of theming. Funding is minimal, but as I put in this coaster and I put in that junior coaster, we're looking at substantial revenue, or not substantial, but pretty good revenue coming in to build rides that are continuing to build revenue, right? So as I changed the color to this coaster, because I realized I didn't all pink, or this building, my next thought process coming out of here is, okay, well, and you're going to see me do it in a moment. I didn't realize it, but I never changed the price of this coaster. Oh my goodness! So for this coaster, it was 7.5 or 7, just over 7 was the excitement rating. So we're charging $6.50, and you watch my revenue just massively increase there, which is super exciting. Just give you some ideas for food stalls as well, while I'm thinking about what you pay or what you charge. So for burgers, I charge $3 to $3.50 depending on the park. For drinks, it'll be $2.50. For soda, $2 for lemonade. And I think that's all I've got in this park thus far. For ice cream, $2, which is a solid price for ice cream again. And what this does is it just gives a really good amount of cost for these items without your customers turning away because it's too expensive. Okay. All right. So as we move into the build again, we're looking at the second building, which is the station house building for Phantasmagoria here. And this is going to be the main haunted house, right? This is the main station, main haunted house. So what I did was I built out a patio to start out the front. And this patio's got the same kind of fencing that goes around this area here. And you'll see what we do is when we put up the haunted house towards the other side of the coaster, that we're going to have the same type of fencing. We're going to have like a dirt trail that goes through. Like, it's going to be fun. So I put down base tiles first to give me a ground, and then I build up the walls around it. And again, as you're building out these buildings, like I've said in multiple videos in the past, you got to be mindful, especially when you're doing an all black building, but mindful of kind of the depth of the building. You don't have depth perception, right? There's no 3D, it's all in 2D. So you've got to be mindful of this as you're building it out. So build out your facades, your floor first, your facade, then your wall to go around, make sure you're fully set, then your second floor, and so on and so forth. Put the base blocks in. It's not going to kill your frame rate. It's not going to kill your gameplay. Put a second floor in so you have an established second floor so you can build on top of that. Okay? So here we are building out our second floor. and then I throw in obviously all of the actual base tiles just to make life a little bit easier for me as I'm building out you know, the walls for the second floor itself. So here we are putting on some forward-facing turret action-ish here. I forgot, I think I want to go back into this. I'm going to throw some of that fencing on the top of this as well to give it a little bit more of that gothic, you know, vibe that you get with these buildings. Just give it a little bit more fun feel. So I'm going to come back and do that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, see, because I see I did those, and I'm not a fan of those, I don't think. I think I could definitely do a better job with some gothic roofing and kind of revisit that. So, but as I build this out here, we throw up our second floor, and we're gonna have balconies on either side facing out. Again, just to give a little bit of a change of vibe. And, you know, do I think purple and black is the best color combination with the red or that red brick? Not the hugest fan, but in all honesty, I'm just making it to have fun, right? That's what we're doing here. We're just having fun. Yeah, I can totally go back and I can, oh my God, I have an idea already. See, this is what happens. You know, you rewatch these videos and you're like, yeah, I want to do that. So, all right, cool. So that's our station house there. And now we're going to come back and put a bunch of, you know, nature in here. These old decrepit trees, the oak trees, I mean, they're just super fun. And that's our finished product there. Look at that. We have a 6.93, so that's why we charge $6.50. And I would expect the excitement rating to be higher. So I'm not really stretching that too much because it's a super popular ride. But yeah, there you have it. That's Phantasmagoria in its essence. And look how great that looks. And we've done that. We've got $9,000 to play with now with our revenue there. And here we are getting towards the end of the video. So thank you guys so much for joining another series. Like I said, I'm going to post at least 2 a week minimum. Again, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule is the schedule I'm looking to go forward with. But yeah, you could find Coaster Monkey on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. You know, I'm everywhere. And definitely Patreon. So check me out on Patreon as well. Again, thank you for joining in our new series here on Coaster Monkey Studios, which is the RCT Classic Scenario series. So thanks so much, guys, and have yourself a wonderful day. Chat with you soon.